in.
Put a headphone on. I need to see a bad hair day.
No, it's just beautiful hair, dude. How long did that take you to grow out?
Maybe a year plus.
So I'm
Not
thinking
really.
about
Well, I'll
growing
get
out
it cut a little bit. It takes a good solid year, brother.
Yeah,
But,
I'm thinking about growing out mine.
Yeah, Chrissy's a stylist, and she neglects my stuff, bro. So I'm supposed to go there later with my little boy and cut it up. So, you know,
Nice.
it's
Do
crazy.
you're welcome, Nick.
Yeah,
Go
I'll
ahead.
do a little intro. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're with Chronic. It's been forever. Probably the last CCC that we did was the last time I think we spoke, which I don't even know how long ago that was, but so happy to have you here, man. A lot of the topics that we're going to be going over, is going to probably be about cross-chain. Polygon's got a lot of stuff going on over there. I was actually just talking with Clean and Chronic about that, because I was talking with somebody in Block is Hot's comment section. I think it was just like one comment, but he was kind of worried. He's like, oh man, are you also going over to Polygon? And it was like, I just want to let people know we're not leaving. We're just kind of like, going to check out other chains because there's a lot of volume. There's some opportunities. And I feel like we shouldn't leave any opportunities, we should go check them all out. And Block even said he's planning on flipping these and bringing a lot of the volume back over to Cardano. So I think it's going to be a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to spread your wings and fly. You got to go see what's on the other side of the fence. You got to go see what other chains are out there, what they're offering. Because if you're not playing in the big leagues, which is ETH and, say Solana and Polygon, you're not going to – it all translates. It's all what and what. Once you learn how to play on Cardano, why not go get some liquidity and bring it back over here if that's what you choose? Because certain people bring it back from ETH, come to Cardano, and bring it back to ETH. So that we could do the same.
Exactly.
You're only going to get better and learn by doing this.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
So I've been cross-chain for a little while now, and I had some ETH anyway or whatever, but just because needed to diversify and stuff like that. But I'm a Cardano diehard, you know what I mean? But my goal, Cardano is where my heart's at, that's my end place, that's where I want to end up, right? But the thing is smart money has to follow that money over to other things. So if Cardano's not necessarily having the volume like you said, then dude, it would be unwise to just stick at one. You know what I'm saying? And not try to merge over to the other one where it's 10 million in volume. You know what I'm saying? And it's just I decided to do that, but I'm in a delicate balance where it's well, I gotta play it right because I want to maximize my ADA, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, maximize my bags in ETH so I can bring that money back over, right? Because my end game is in Cardano, just because I love it, And so, but right now I'm just playing around in a bigger playground, and it's different. It's real different. Not too much, but it's different.
It moves so fast.
Yeah, I just want to say too, I think it's, a lot of people get attached like a relationship. It's like if your relationship is having some hard times, you want to stick with that relationship and see it through. And that's admirable. And that's how you build a real relationship. But when it's coming to money, you just kind of follow the money. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing bad about going and checking out, another girl on another chain, you know what I'm saying? And then coming back and bringing that money back to your first girl and being like, all right, let's rebuild,
Right.
But
absolutely. I mean, for one, it moves so fast, Ethereum, especially. I mean, it's a lot of pump and dumps. Literally you got to be in tune with the market. Cause if you're not staring at the screen, you go to sleep and, you lost 80-90%. And it happens every single day. If you go click on OpenSea and look at the trending, 1 hours, all of them, they'll pump ridiculously. They might do a 10x, but then they'll literally retrace below mint or before you even know where they came from. But it like you said, you got to be very strategic with it. You don't want to bring your ADA if you're trying to get ADA and HODL ADA for the long run. You can't bring that all over there and lose it. You got to be strategic. What I did with Kid Called Beast, I took 22,000 ADA. We got 11 Beast. That 22,000 ADA was almost over at 100K when the floor was 2.7 ETH. And then, obviously I didn't touch anything because, Now it's sitting there, we still 2.5x, but it's not, 7, 8x. So you just got to be wary and not chase every new thing, because there's always something going on. And it's much easier to, lose your ass if you're not even in, you don't have no clue you don't know what the project's about. You're just seeing that volume, that hype. You're seeing them, the activity go crazy. But you just got to be strategic with it. But it's definitely a lot of opportunity every single day on other chains, for sure.
So is that what you've mostly been doing since the last time we spoke? You've been doing some kid called Beast, and I know you're still in Ape Society, but you did have that great sale months and months ago. What's kind of been the move? Like, how have you been kind of viewing this space and how everything's been dipping?
Yeah, it's been wild. You know what I mean? It's sad to see, in a sense, that, it takes a lot of patience. As you know, we've been doing this for a long time. And I mean, a year since we probably spoke, it goes quick, but it goes so slow. And I mean, people don't have the patience to withstand the grind on one chain. So Cardano was slow for a while. You know what I mean? After CNFT Con, things started to go downhill, which pretty much in all markets, but Cardano in particular. And I've been sticking with the apes. I mean, obviously I have few projects that I'm excited about, like Block Hours is minting next week, but with these rise in ADA price mints, it's making it harder for us to secure the profits. And I'm all about the teams making money and building, but we got to look out for number one. We got to look out for ourselves. So if they're not giving us the opportunity to, whether it be flip or hold and flip and to be in the green, it's kind of a moot point for me to mint. I'd rather just sit back, watch, know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And not try to always get that rare, because that never happens. So, back to the question, Nick. I've been just hanging tight with my Cardano bags. Trying to sell off some things slowly but surely, but these offers are ridiculously low. But just trying to solidify the projects that I'm in, and then pick and choose on other chains like Clean and Aya and Utes. So Utes transferred over. I traded a Kong for a Ute. That was a wonderful trade, right? Looking back. So I mean, that got me in that community. That got me starting to check into Solana even more so, and then they bridged over to Polygon. But that kid called Beast, we took some ADA and we minted that, and then I learned more about the project, and I bought before they revealed on secondary, and I really enjoyed that project. I enjoyed the founders and what they're doing and what they're building. But again, I didn't play it right. I mean, it went up. It's at 0.9 now. It was at 2.7, 2.5, say. I could have sold them all, had 24 ETH, could have got 2 mutant apes if I wanted, and then sat on my hands, waited 3 months, and bought back. We should understand that because we're in it, but it's just, you get hyped, man. This stuff's going to the moon type of deal, and you just get sucked into it. So, but yeah, man, I've just been dabbling on other chains to keep my interest there, because if not, I got ADHD, man. I'm going to leave and not come back for a while. And then that's not really what I want to do, because my bags are sitting over here, unattended, not checking up on Discords, etc. So you can't spread yourself thin. That's another problem. There's always greener pastures, but you're not as invested or in tune with the market on every chain. You got to be like we are on Cardano, but while it's slow, you gotta grow somewhere. So yeah, man, just trying to dabble in everything and just learn markets, see, and kind of fine tune my game for when if we do have a bull market, I'm gonna sell the tops a lot more, right? That's the goal.
Yeah, that's always the goal for sure. But I've been trying to go into Polygon a little bit. I've been watching some videos, and then my first thought was, okay, I found some projects that I like, but now how do I get whitelist spots? I know all about whitelist spots for Cardano, but how does this work on Polygon? And I was searching, and I was like, do I have to Discord grind again? Is that the only way? How do people get these whitelist spots?
That or giveaways. Not clean. Go ahead, brother.
Giveaways. And dude, it's giveaways. you have to be in the Discord kind of. It's not all just like a grind or whatever, but you do have to rep a little bit. I mean, so you have to play, like they always have rumbles or like cart smash and shit like that. It's pretty fun anyway to play. I play with my kid all the time on cart smash carts or whatever. And but yeah, it's mostly just like you can ask them. You can be like, hey, I'm kind of new on the chain. I mean, do whatever you can do. I mean, I wouldn't sit here and I wouldn't be shy about asking somebody, hey, can I maybe get a whitelist spot? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like it's not uncommon, you know. I mean, you just have to act like they're humans. Just be like, I want to try to get some of these. I want to try to flip. I want to make some money, but at the same time, I want to join the community. So it's like, you know, you just got to be real about it, you know, just like, yeah. But other than that, yeah, it is somewhat of a Discord grind or whatever, but it's not like Boss Cat where it was like grind. Like everybody was like just typing nonsense in the chat. There are some people that do that, but it's like, yeah.
I mean, speaking of selling at the top, like too bad we, some of us didn't sell at the top for that because that had a pretty strong decline.
Yeah, I got out of it like probably midway down the decline with the rocket and stuff. But like what Clean was saying, Nick, if you in these projects like a Kid Called Beast, we hold I hold over 10. Christy's got one, right? So we can be in the raffles. Then they'll have like a whale chat, and then you'll get per beast you have, per NFT you have, you'll get an entry into the raffle. So they'll have like a giveaway channel, and you go enter. You got to follow the Discord, follow the Twitter of this upcoming mint. And therefore, I'll get 10 entries. I won Sizon. Sizon, I think, was 0.05 mint. That went up to 0.34. I just won Decadin, the keys, Spirit Keys. That was like a 0.07 mint and went up to 0.17. I ended up selling like at 0.1, but I made, whatever, $50. But the thing is, that's the only luck I've been having just on the giveaways, like in that, for being a holder. Kind of like what Cardano NFTs do, you got them. You just gotta get lucky, essentially, man. And then just getting the alpha chats that are in them Discords you're in, then they'll be saying, "Oh, this Iron Claw is the next big thing." All right, well, that minted for 0.15 yesterday. Now it's at like 0.37. I didn't have any whitelist, but you could still get your ear to the street and be like, "All right, once this thing mints for 0.15, if it drops down under that or near floor, like I'm going to scoop them up," because you're not always going to be able to mint. It's a lot of previous Genesis, OG type things. Like if you held this, you get to mint it. And, it's definitely tough, but the opportunity's there for certain projects. But like I said, it's the opposite end of the spectrum, man. They have stuff minting every day on OpenSea that might be $4 to $8. It'll pump and it'll get you excited. You buy $30 and then it's back down to $2 and it's rugged essentially. So it's a fine line, bro. But it's fun. Yeah. It's part of the hunt and part of the gamble, right?
Yeah, right. I know. Clean. You were talking about you got in a project, sold the project, got in the project again, sold the project again, and I was like, damn, this I don't hear that a whole lot in Cardano. I hear like I mint and flipped and I got out, and not a whole lot of people in Cardano do I actually see buy secondary and sell out. Other than you had a great king scoop early on with Ape Society, obviously. And then, that was like the trade of the century, I think, for a lot of like people looking out there. They're like, that's what I want. That's what we all go after. So, it's just interesting that we don't really have that opportunity on Cardano most of the time.
Yeah, I got into Nakamigos, man.
Oh, my God.
Early.
Oh, my God.
And so it was at like 0.01, right? And I sold at 0.2. And then bought back in at 0.3 and sold at 0.5.
It went up to 0.72.
And I had 20 of those things.
Oh my God, Clean.
How do I spell that?
Nakamigo. Yeah, Nakamigos.
So they're at this to give you an idea. Yeah. So they're at 0.5. This morning they were at 0.3. So I'm telling you, like, if these drop to 0.3, you might want to scoop some, because I think what we're dealing with right here is the actual top, let's say. It's going to fluctuate back up in there. But if you look at the analytics, like click on the analytics tool and just scroll down, it might take a minute to load. the volume is just, it's crazy. Yes, there's outliers and stuff, but if you look at it, it's like it's constantly going right back up, going right back up, going right back up.
Yeah, it does look like that.
And
I know
so
that was
this was a
wild.
random day.
I mean, look, that I seen that too, Clean. I seen a couple Bored Apes tweet about it at 0.01. Again, just like everything else, they had a bunch of kind of copycat projects around the same time that just sit there around the 0.01 to 0.05, and this one just took off. They got 20,000 assets, right? It doesn't make no sense, but I think it's the MFers, like they're associated with the original MFers group, right?
Yeah.
So it went from 0.01, like Clean said, it went all the way up to 0.7. That's like a 70, 100x. People got in earlier than 0.01. If you could have scooped like Clean, like, man, that was one I missed on. And they had MAGA amigos with the not the 2 second not trying to go off of the topic here, but that was another fake out. It was the Trump ones, like MAGA, amigos.
Yeah.
And they like literally 5-6x in front of my face. Now they under 0.01. So it's just like you got to be careful, and they don't always just keep going. This is an anomaly. It's already at 20,000 plus ETH. These people made over 1,000 ETH, like almost $2 million secondary in a week. It's wild. The volume is ridiculous. Like Clean saying, like you get in and get out. You can't do that, Nick, on Cardano because the stuff's not fluctuating from 1,000 to 500 ADA to 1,200 ADA to 700 ADA to 15, all in the same day. This is what this does. Like this will literally drastic swings all day, every day. And if you're watching it and playing it, it's just like playing, you're day trading a stock essentially. So you got to be careful though, because you're like, when is the rug fully going to come out? Eventually, like one of them times like, you buy at 0.3, and next thing you know, it's 0.1. If that would happen, so you just got to have the stomach for it. That's it. And in the bag.
Can you put in like because with stocks, you can put in like a I'm forgetting the word, but if it goes down, you automatically sell. Stop loss.
Yeah, stop loss.
You go.
Yeah, absolutely. You go in there and you list for a certain price you want to list for. Now you don't have the bottom, right? But yeah. So usually you're listing for over floor, but yeah, I don't believe they got to. Actually, on Blur they might have something like that. I don't use it. I'm not that like trader-esque with this, but you definitely can try to time it or get on out if Yeah, I'm not sure if you got a stop loss on Blur though.
What's up, Valentin?
Just saying what's up, Valentin? Yeah. Also, what's up, Scottish, the homie? Scottish. Love a cheeky swing trade, which is all you really can do on Cardano. And I was cool with that for the longest time too. I think swing trading is one of the best ways to trade, but
absolutely,
it's difficult when the volume's so low, and especially if you're one of those people who love it and you check like every other day and it's just not moving, or it's moving away from you. You're just like, dang, like, do I sell for a loss? And then sometimes you sell for a loss and then it goes back up, and it just screws with your mental because you're like, well, next time it goes down, I won't sell. And then it goes even further. So
absolutely,
the mind games, man.
All I'm looking to do by diversifying is just sharpening my teeth. That's it. So that way when I come back to Cardano, it's like I've gained so much experience, seriously, in the past month. You know what I mean? That I feel like I'm more knowledgeable how to read like analytics to see kind of, hey, this is where the sales are trending. This is where we're at. Like, yeah, it's just it's a good thing. Chronic, how many Utes you got?
Just one.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes, baby.
One.
That's so I think and that's cool. The crazy thing, and I'll say this about Utes, it's zeros. I'll say this about Utes. They're sitting at a 188 floor, right? Which is good. Like that's 3,500, something like that. So I mean, that's better than they were doing on Solana. Okay. And then right now, Frank, who's in charge of Utes and stuff like that, he took a 9-day hiatus until NFT NYC, right? And so he's going to go there, but he's hanging out specifically with their artist right now. And what he's working on is Utes season 2. And so Chronic, are you keeping up at all or no?
I'm not. That's the thing. It's so much. I tried. I seen him saying like it was D-God season or whatever. Now it's about to turn my attention to Utes. So I'm excited to hear that.
And so what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to re-roll traits. Number one, they're going to redo the artwork and make it so it pops just a little bit more. And that way, you know, but you can choose to re-roll your traits if you want to.
Huh.
And then also there's a free airdrop that we're receiving. So hold on to your Utes.
Hell yeah.
And so I think, man, I if there was one team I had to like put all of my crap into, it would probably be Utes. And then I hold 3 heavy metals from Yuga now. Just because I think with the mechs, those things could go absolutely crazy. It's going to be a PFP. It's just HV, sorry. And then MTL. There you go. So what? So yeah. So I hold 1 bio, which is the first one, and then 2 knights. And so if you looked at the art, like it's going to be a PFP project from the people who made Bored Apes. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so if I can do that, I mean, then I'm just going to dump. I'm going to, as soon as it tops out, as soon as everything's revealed, I'm telling you right now, I'm topping out, right? Boom, gone. And then I'm putting everything into like Utes or D-Gods or like whatever it may be. So,
right.
Yeah.
They released 2 yesterday, huh? My bad, Nick.
No, you're good. I was just saying, I was watching some of Block Is Hot stuff because he had like 2 back-to-back videos on Polygon NFTs, and he was basically saying, you know, I'm just looking at these as flips, and that was like exactly how I was thinking too. Not even because I don't believe in the projects, but just because I'm so new to this ecosystem and I know how it is with Cardano. You know, you get in, you see these hype projects, you see this crazy art that hasn't been done before, you see whatever, and, you know, they're like, oh, we're going to build this new thing and it's going to make everything great. And you're like, oh, that's awesome. And you feed into it. And then next thing you know, you're down. So I'm just like, nah, I'm going to, if I can, I'm going to get in and then I'm going to get right out like within a day, you know, like I'm just trying to do some quick flips. I'm trying to experience some new chains because I haven't even minted on Polygon yet. So I just want to do my first mint. I just want to feel it. You know what I mean?
No, but Nick, don't even think by the end of the day, bro. Think about by the end of the hour, dude.
Oh, I was being a little, you know, broad. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably flip it instantly. I'm not gonna lie.
It's crazy. Like I said, I told you, and he covered it too. The normies or whatever. I kind of looked at it. They look
flippable, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if you can try to get mint,
Not financial advice.
But I'm working on my whitelist spot over there because it's like, okay, I can see this is a flipped asset, and if I can, I will. I mean, so yeah, but man, yo, Chronic, can we talk about October 18th, man?
What is that? The day the king sold?
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
dude, so obviously he was negotiating and stuff like that. And Christy says, you're an excellent negotiator. It's absolutely excellent. The best in the business.
I don't know about
that. But you know, she's always like talking nothing but great things about you and stuff. So I'm honestly jealous of your guys' relationship. Holy shit. She seems like she's really supportive.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah,
it was wild, man. Like she gave we've been looking clean. Like we got it for 7,500 way back when. Same day I got the zombie. We should have had 2 kings, which would have been fire, right? Eternal took like 35 minutes to transfer internally. So King Smith for 6,000 ADA went right. But literally as I got my ADA in my wallet, King Smith went. But the same tune, like the guy that sold his Medici for 107 to upwind, 107,000 ADA. He bought 3 and they all failed. So like I was lucky to get one because the transaction failed on him. That's JPG day. That was wild. But yeah, man, she wanted to like, she really wanted to like 10, 20x, which was crazy at that price range. I never honestly thought we would be able to get like the 180, but I've been seeing some people in the Discord, saying I'll offer this to certain people for another king. With that gentleman, he ended up selling a king, right before the end of the year for like 250,000 ADA. It wasn't as big as the USD price, but it was more ADA, which that's what we want. But yeah, man, she gave me the okay to try to negotiate. We were happy like at 120 something to take it. And by the time I got home, like an hour later, I had like 4 or 5 people in the DMs, one person twice negotiating for someone. And yeah, I mean, I was about to take the 150 and then it went to 180 and I put it up on the market and they like literally bought at the same time as I was trying to do that thing online. It kind of scared the shit out of me. That's what JPG saw said, like literally like as I was like accepting the offer, something like he bought it. And it was wild. Bittersweet. I mean, it looks good now, right? That seemed like the top of everything. Hindsight 2020. I would have sold all of my apes, right? At like 15, 12, 10, whatever, right? And then look at we had right under 6. I could have been sitting there chilling and then bought back lower, but, didn't believe in it. Still believe in the project. They got, great things coming. It just takes patience, man. And people in this market just don't have it, But when you've seen on other chains, like these big sales are not, they're much more common. But it's harder to get these rare ones, right? I mean, so a kid called Beast, I witnessed a few huge sales. One of my buddies, sold, KO sold something for like 15 ETH. Tal bought something for 15 ETH. I seen a 50 ETH sale. So I mean, like, you get lucky and you can snipe these things and a project does well. You can really benefit. But yeah, man, it was a fun time. And like I said, I would have done things a little different, clean, when it comes to that. But it was definitely a nice sale for us, for sure. It definitely helped us in real life, and kind of padded the ADA bag to play around a little bit. You feel me,
Bro? So originally you probably have the initial stress and nervousness of actually putting the transaction through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the excitement. When did you actually calm down from that sale, dude?
man?
Because like I was like when you first of all, I'll tell you this, and I tweeted this the day of. I was like, I felt like we all won as a Cardano community when you fucking won that, bro. Because
that was awesome.
You're one of the staples in there, and we felt you're such a good dude that it was like, yeah, he deserves this shit. He deserves this come up. I mean, go get that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so I felt like we all won. We were all like, let's fucking go.
I know. I appreciate that. The love was real.
Yeah. And so we were all excited, man. And like, bro, you were breathing and I was breathing with you. I was like, oh shit.
Man,
but what was that? When
nervous.
did you get it calmed down, man?
Man, really later. The one thing I wish Chrissy would have been there, because it was her purchase. Even though I brought her into the project, I said, let's buy this. And of course, like most women, they want the most expensive things, right, at the time. So it was her purchase, and her, her backing gives me the confidence to go ahead, because I like to, that's how we work as a team. Like it can mess us up some, or it can help us, where I might ask her and then she might not give me the answer I want, and it might cause me to lose a few ADA and the floor price rising or whatnot. But she also gives me the confidence to spend a large chunk, because at the time ADA was like $1. So I was like, yo, that's a lot of money. I only spent like $1,000 on a pimp suit at the time. That was my biggest like buy. And I'm like, yo, this is a lot of money. So it gave me the confidence to do that. And then once we got together later, when she got home from work, we kind of all hit us and stuff like that. And I wish she would have been there initially to where bask in the glory, because everyone thinks it's me, this, that, and the other. And we are a team. But it was really nice, man. It was special. Like I said, it extended the runway for us to play in this game a little longer. You know what I mean? Because how we like to roll. We like to mint everything, or we like to have our fingers in everything, and and try to mint. It just gets hard. Like you said, you got to take the stance of, hey, I'm going to sell this asset that I believe in to get liquidity to go mint this stuff that I have no clue in, just to be a DJ. And that's what was happening a lot. And I don't like to capitulate like that. I like to hold to see something through. And I'm learning that's, whether or not it's good or not, it's it's the right thing to do. But yeah, man, it was special. And hopefully that's, I'll be eating my words in a year, and these kings sell for $1 million for the rest of the people that I hold. That's what I truly believe may happen. So it's kind of, like I said, bittersweet. But it was an awesome time. Not going to lie. It felt surreal. I was nervous as hell. But to have that opportunity to do that was something that we won't ever forget,
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Ape Society too. I know you're still in their spaces a lot. So with the Codas mint, unfortunately there was that little, miss site that you could see the asset before you actually purchased it, or at least you could see if it was a rare or not. That caused the floor to dip a bit. What do you think about it in the future? Do you think it'll go back to normal and people just kind of be like, it's all right, it's just a unfortunate mint type of thing?
Yeah, I wish I would have known about the exploit. Right, I had 4 whitelist spots. Chrissy, lucky she is, she minted one legitly. Then we minted 3 commons. So like I would have exploited them and got 4 golds. I'm saying this just like I told y'all honestly on another thing. I would have minted them and I would have sold 2 to 3 of them. No shame in my game. Right? But I had no clue about it. That did affect, in my opinion, the 2-3 day mint, right? Because if there's 1,000 assets left and you got 1 shot to get a rare, the rest are common, it's gonna be a slow trickle, to get that sold out. So I didn't know about it. It is what it is. It seems like Nami has an issue with every mint. It's like Nami, you can go check the asset and go look at, even with Kongs, you can go see the asset number. If you're smart enough and you have the foresight to go click on a bunch of things, I just click sign and I type my password and I'm done. Like I don't go like, oh, let me click this. Like if the early bird gets the worm, if you smart like that, good for you. But yeah, man, I think they're gonna rebound once these landmarks come out, and start providing some more liquidity in society or more rewards, because that's directly correlating with the ape price is the rewards you're getting. It's gone down drastically. I was getting like 3,000 society a day almost. Now we're getting like 400 or less. So like, the price was around 10K because you're getting that money every day, or the society every day. Now it's dwindling. So people are gonna say, "Yo, I'm gonna secure that ADA bag and start selling your the apes." Now it's also allowing more people to get in at these entry points, 5, 6, 4,800, whatever, accepting offers, right? And maybe get back in and run up. But it's definitely a steep purchase, to come in at first. But I do think the project is gonna be there for the long term. And if they're not, Cardano NFTs are in trouble. You know what I mean? So I do think the Codas was another way to get people in. But as you're messing with Polygon or ETH or Solana people, you got it's the attention span, man. They need to give them something, a reason for them to hold. They need to see, yo, I'm getting X amount of society a day. Okay, I paid that pass off. It cost me 100 USD. All right, it's paid off already. I'm willing to hold. If not, they'll go elsewhere, in my opinion. So that's why I said on these spaces, like the Ape Society team has a lot to prove with these Codas mints, the citizens of the Ape Society. They're gonna have a lot to prove to the people on other chains that like they were preaching to try to get them over here. Like, show me something. That's my opinion. But I do think they're gonna be back. It's just trying to get that community to expand that community and get people to believe in this NFT game again, because all the floors are dipping, kinda, So yeah, I don't think that Codas mint really affected too much. It was kind of, it is what it is, but it seems like they got to exploit with any mints on Cardano with Nami or Endmaker. Like, I'm not techie enough to understand how to get to it, but some people are, and they're benefiting, you know.
Now
Yeah.
they had the secondary function of that. The what was it? The regretteroni or something like that. The
Yeah,
people
that's
who
funny.
sold under the floor for the first 24 hours of that, they got hilarious, just a
It is
hilarious
funny.
April Fool's NFT.
Yep.
The plate of regretteroni, absolutely hilarious. That is,
I love the regretteroni. It's reggaetoni.
rigatoni. Yeah,
Rigatoni. That's how,
yeah,
you know. I like regretteroni better as well,
yeah.
but it just shows they're confident, man. And you know, to troll these people like that. The cabins were the same way forever. The cabin mints were, what were they, 150, 175?
I think they were 100, I thought.
Well,
I
the
could be-
apes were 99. I think I thought they were 150, Nick. But
You might be right.
either way, they stayed down in the 180 to 250 range for a long time. They might even drop below mint for a minute. And then eventually they just went up to over 1,000, and now they're settling right around 500-600. So again, if the number one project and floor price can't, you know, sustain and get that floor up, it's not a good look for the whole ecosystem, in my opinion. So yeah, just holding, man, waiting for them to come out. We do spaces on Sunday and stuff like that. So we just trying to get it out there. And the Dow, I found this out the other day. The Dow has over $1 million USD in society. You know what I mean? If they liquidate the society, it's over $1 million USD. And the Dow is totally separate from the team. They can literally pay you clean to do your podcast. They can go buy a real life building if in fact that's what they wanted to do in the future, which is kind of wild. They have that much money in a Dow, you know, war chest, you know, just kind of waiting to deploy it, you know.
If they did get that into actual dollars, though, wouldn't they have to sell, which would kind of crash the price a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, probably so. It would yeah. But give or take, you know, yeah, I don't know how it goes. They're definitely the biggest holder of society. The Dow is. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I don't think that's on the table that they're going to do that. But it's just wild that, you know, it's that much money, and that's at these current prices. From, you know, you're hearing some of the smart individuals, you know, pulling up the analytic tools and their spreadsheets. I mean, what if this thing goes to a half 8 pop, a 1/8 pop in the future? I mean, I think 20% or so of the supply has been burned. There's only 700 million total society. I think like 570,000 has been, you know, given out so far. So like it's supply and demand. If they get rid of that and people buy it, of course that the price is going to go down. But you know, what would they do, you know, with that money to make, you know, to do better? Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they're definitely trying to deploy some of the funds now. So that's pretty cool.
So you mentioned the landmarks as well, and that you think is going to help with the floor price and stuff. Can you explain the landmarks and how that's going to help?
Yeah, well, there's 11 landmarks, right? There's 35 districts, 35 families, 35 kings, 35 districts, and 11 of those have landmarks on them. We know of 2 or 3. Well, we know of BTC, which is Bedford Trading Company. That's just gonna bet on the. It's kind of like it's not a futures market, right? But it's something similar. Like you're gonna bet on a price of ADA going up and down. So me, you, and Clean each put 1,000 society in, and me and you, Nick, think it's gonna go up. Clean thinks it's gonna go down. Clean's gonna take our money. So if they have 100 people in the pot, 99 think it's gonna go up. That one's gonna bet against it, like the house. That one person would take 99 people's money. That's kind of how it is. It's just going to be like a little degen, you know, like a little degen play, in my opinion. Then they have the factory, which is the incubator for other projects coming in. They pay a percentage, maybe 15, 16, 20%, and you guys are going to make a project, right? They're now, you know, holding your hand from start to finish, and even after. They meet weekly with the project founders, and you're getting tutelage and you're getting inside information on how to, you know, run your business / project through them. So then they're gonna start minting on that site. So each landmark, like the Bedford Trading, each person that has a cabin in that landmark district will get a portion of society close. Like proximity to the landmarks do matter. They do have a big spreadsheet saying like you'll get 0.08% per, you know, so if you got a chateau right next to the landmark, you're going to be getting passive income through society by people using that landmark. Then they also have like up to 5% of a mint. Say a new mint that's going to be coming up is Pioneers, right? That's one of them. It kind of looks like CloneX on ETH. Like 5% of the people will be able to mint in society, and they're guaranteed for that landmark. And then again, it's just another way for you to start getting society all the time, rather than holding an ape and staking it, or now like I'm crafting items and selling it on their marketplace, making furniture. That's another way to generate, whether it be $3, $30, it depends. You know, it's just another way to generate society for the people. So as they implement them landmarks, it's gonna get the cabin floors to go up. People are gonna weigh the math. Don't, you know, numbers don't lie. If it makes sense to get in the project, like, okay, I'm getting $22 a day for having this cabin, but it costs me, you know, $300. All right, it's gonna get paid off in 3 weeks. I'll buy it. But if it's gonna take you years to get an ROI, it just does. Some things just don't make sense. But yeah, that's their next thing in the process. Once these landmarks go live, I think it's gonna actually start to you know, really get the holders more interested. You know, putting a picture in the passport, to me, it doesn't do anything. I didn't do it the other day. It's live now to do it. But as you start to put stamps on that passport because you're utilizing the landmarks, you know, and you're getting a return by fees or however they have it structured, it's gonna make you know, the hype come back a little bit, because like right now it's just kind of, you know, just cruising, you know.
Yeah,
I hope I answered that okay.
No, I appreciate it. I think you did. Because I own a cabin, I believe in District 31, which is the factory, and I hold one in. It's like kind of in the middle, so I'm getting like 0.35. I want to say like percent rewards or whatever it is. So it's like average, not too bad, but it's just a regular cabin. It's a small. So I'm not sure, like, if my cabin was in the same spot and it was a larger cabin, would that benefit me at all, or would that just be for the frames?
It just probably goes for the frames. You get to stake more apes, but obviously the chateaus, the bigger you have it, you'll get more ADA in the resale. But like you said, yours is 0.35. If they'll have the location of a bigger one, and they might have, you might get more of a percentage. You might get 0.48. You know, it's not going to be astronomical. Right. You know what I mean? But you're definitely, you know, the bigger the better kind of deal.
I was wondering too. I was thinking, I was like, it would be really cool if those cabins in the factory district all got whitelist spots to Pioneers too. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that was just an idea that I had, and I was like, that would be really cool. Have they?
Absolutely.
Do you know if they've talked about anything like that?
I think something similar. I don't know about all, right? Because I don't know how many cabins are. They might have 200 and something. Well, they may. You know, they might have. They actually might. I know 500 people are going to be able to mint, you know, in that district. So if you're in that district, you get the perks. You're going to be able to mint with society. I know 500 out to 10,000 is dedicated to you guys. So if there's less than 5,000, it would make sense to me for you guys to all get a whitelist. And that to me is utility or a perk of holding in that cabin, right? I mean, so yeah, I think it will benefit you a lot. And then, like you said, then you start making money off of your, you know, you're just holding your NFT because you're getting privileges, like you said, to mint this, right? I want to say, yeah, Nick, I need to check on it, but I'm pretty sure you're on to something there.
I appreciate that, man. And Valentin, I don't know if you're still in here, but I appreciate the patience. I did see this comment a while back. I just wanted to ask a few questions about Ape Society, but he wants to get your thoughts on block owls.
What's up, Valentin? That's my guy there. He's a big block owl holder. I really dig. I dig the next mint kind of nervous though, because I have like 24 whitelist spots, and that's a lot of. I think that 8 is like we got a bunch of owls. I love him. So does he. He's got more than me. Well, he used to. I don't know if he still does, but yeah, man, they look great. I kind of mentioned that Iron Claw on ETH. Do me a favor right now. Go on OpenSea and hit up Iron Claw. To me,
bro, Iron Claw is flawless. I got in at point 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Claw gang. Dude.
Yep.
Flawless.
So, right, watch. I wanted you to see like their little thing they're walking and they're shooting. It's almost there you go. Check it, Nick.
Oh, Iron
Paw.
Paw.
My
Gotcha.
bad. Iron Paw. So go check them out, and let's check out Block Owls next. So see this? They got the thing in the in their vessel, and what they going for? 0.32. That's like $600, right?
Yeah.
And it's just this thing. So now the Block Owls, they have 6,400 Jabba Z's. There's going to be 4 different clans, and they have 4 different, like vessels, or I don't know what they're calling them, that the foxes sit in, that the Jabba Z's sit in, and each one is like a one-of-one. They're not going to be on the Nick. It's going to probably be on Twitter. On Twitter. They just showed yesterday. They had the spider. That's the elites. Like my point was, like if Block Owls was on another chain, my gosh, I mean the art's second to none. But I think the Mint is gonna do well. It kind of scares me. See, that's one of the clans, and they got their own little music to it. Each one is like a one-of-one. Each one does something. I think the Mint's gonna be 100 USD for whitelist, so that's like at this price, like 250, 260 ADA. And that's why I said I was kind of nervous. Like I got a bunch. That's a lot of ADA I got to throw out there. And what is the return that I'm going to be able to get? Because I don't want to sit on all of them, right? Like I did with my owls. Like I want to start like getting in and getting out and holding some. Do they have enough people outside of the Block Owl ecosystem that want to buy these? That's my concern, because in the previous 3 mints, you could only mint if you held a Block Owl. All right. So it's keeping that ecosystem so small, and there's only 6,500 Block Owls from start, so this here is going to like literally double the supply, even though it's not glitchy Block Owls. It's something totally different. But do they have people like you two? Are you guys going to be enthused to come by, try to mint public, because they will have a couple thousand public for you guys, or will you buy secondary? That's my concern.
Looking at these, I think they look cool as shit. I think they look great. It's something that, damn, I literally in the last video just said I thought, Magic Kongs were some of the best artwork that I'd seen on Cardano. I had a few disagreements, completely fine. But now I'm seeing this, and I'm just like, man, I just take that comment back. Like, this is some of the best art that I've seen on Cardano. But that price and the liquidity that we have, man, I can't see myself buying anything and holding it for longer than a day.
See,
not currently.
I appreciate that honesty, and that's my concern. Go down a little bit, Nick. See if you can see. That's just one of the 4 clans. So they're gonna all be different foxes, all gonna have different like little squeals and saying. So this is the elites. See. And then you see this is like, it's kind of similar to the Iron Paw gang. I did that for a reason to kind of, it's the same thing. They got 2 hands shooting stuff. It just shows you we're doing this for, 100 USD. They minted for 0.15, which is probably closer to 275 USD, that Iron Paw. So like it shows you the difference in the price, but the artwork, I mean, the art speaks for itself. And yeah, man, I love them. I just wish the community would be bigger. I'm gonna have a space with them like next Monday, I think, right before their mint. I just hope it's not too little, too late, man, because a lot of people don't know about Block Owls. And keep going down, Nick. See if you can see like just the regular. That's like the plushies and stuff they give out. That's another one. So they're all going to be like one-of-ones. I'm just worried that the liquidity is not going to be there on secondary. And that's my only concern with a lot, since we're in this kind of this bear market. See, that's Ada. That's a mythic. That's another one. You know, that's
That's
so
cool.
they're really cool. They really are cool. I know that the rarity goes by the most points. They're gonna have a bunch of attributes, and then they'll have like a point system. I think 200 is the highest. Don't quote me on that because I need to like read up on it more. But the higher the points, the higher the rarity will be. And there's without a doubt, if you get some of the rarer ones, you will be able to sell them. There's people in this project that are diehard whales. The people that are whales and with Kongs and mallards, and they're whales and block owls. So, and Ape Society, they're whales and block owls. But we're not talking about the upper. We need the foundation to be set for by other community members wanting to come buy this. And it's just hard with the high ADA price tag. And we complained about that. Like everyone complains about the high, oh, we don't get the projects, we don't get the money, and this, that, and the other. But it's man, it's just hard to make money in Cardano when there's such high mint prices. And that's my only concern about it. I think they're gonna mint out 100%. I think the art's cool and everything else. I just, will people see their vision? Do they think they're going to do a short, like Netflix type series? Imagine them doing like a on Disney Junior. Like that's so it's so they do 2-minute videos like it's nothing. So like I think in the future they could do 12 to 15, 20-minute little short shows and do that. But is that their plan? I don't know. That's what I always hoped for. And this was my first secondary buy. I hold like 50-something OGs. I traded a couple for other projects, but I've never sold a Black Owl. And it's kind of like, what am I going to do now? It's kind of like sitting on a 5,000, 6,000 bag of ADA. If I mint this, what am I going to do? I'm going to mint. It's just, it worries me. Just like Kong's mint. It was so easy to see. Like 350 is way too high. I said it's going to go down to 250. Like it should have been a 20% of the OG price. In my opinion, that would have been like 200 ADA. And look at them now. People could have made money, would have made more in secondary. You would have kept your holders happy, etc. But this is a business, and people got to make money, right?
Chronic, I'm telling you right now, dude. Like, I realized that. Okay, so it's a delicate balance. They had to. Oh, you have fans in there all over the place, man. But yeah, so man, the way to airdrop to people, and I don't know why this is such a mystery. Airdrop to the OGs, right? Give them 2 of them. That way I can make a bag off, off of what I have. You know what I mean? Airdrop me 2, allow me to sell on secondary. I'll be forever grateful. And then I can just hold one of my Kongs or like whatever. But instead they went with public mint because they did need funds or like whatever, right? And then it was too high. I don't care what anybody says. It was too high. People were like, oh, go for 500. Bro, it would have been worse than what it is now. And so yeah, I just
well, Cleve, we said that. Finish. My bad.
No, I'm pretty much done. It's just
we remember we was what's up, man? What's up, fam? I see y'all in there, man. Thank y'all for the support. Make sure you like and subscribe to this amazing channel. They grind every freaking week, multiple times. Me and Chrissy done gave up the YouTube game like 6, 7, 8 months ago because we ain't got time. So thank y'all for keep doing what y'all do. This shit's harder than it seems. It's just the time and the energy and the effort y'all put in to be here on the weekly. It's dedication. And I thank y'all for having me on here. And thank you all the homies in the crowd. But Clean, when we were members of Congress, this was in June, July. We were saying 20, upwards of 500 ADA. But bro, the damn price was 3,000 ADA per Kong. So it made sense, right? 20%, 600 ADA is 20% of 3,000. It made sense. When you freaking floor prices at 900 and you're about to 3x the collection size, bruh, like it's just not hard. It's simple supply and demand. It was way too high. It should have been 200. They didn't leave no meat on the bone for the holders. I've been one of the most avid supporters of this freaking project from jump. I was like the FUD fighter on everything. But then you don't even give me my mushroom until after the mint, and you give me the mushroom that is worth less. Like, bro, like you gave me like, oh, come on, man. They made a lot of mistakes and shit. It is what it is, but hindsight's always 2020. Fumbled the bag. I hope the project can sustain. I think the OGs are like 500-600 now. It's hard to see, but it's just like the writing's on the wall. They did everything wrong. They should have given us our mushrooms last summer before CNFT Con. Who cares about the artwork? Let us buy and trade and sell like when the getting's good.
Let me position.
Let me
you know what I'm
position
saying?
myself.
Let me position.
Absolutely. Because, dude, this was going to be our first time to actually benefit on a drop. That the Vox drop was all boss cats. I don't want to ever hear nothing about that. It was all boss cats. Yeah. Nothing to do with Kongs. It was all boss cats. And this was our first opportunity to make a little something without having to sell your OG Kong. Why would you like? I don't understand that reasoning. And then they dropped the Cubensis, and then people wanted the Aussies. Right. Like what? You just minted the Aussies. Like you know what I mean? Now the Aussies are 400 a floor, and the Cubensis is 120. It's like, bro, they just wasn't thinking of the holders at all, in my opinion. Or they was, and they just didn't implement it right. I don't know. It was a big fumble, and I'm
gonna be honest. I liquidated everything. I liquidated. I couldn't.
Yeah. I still
except
hold
for that
two.
one that you split with me. We're still holding the split one, but man, you know, it goes back to what you were saying, Chronic. Like the floor price, it's a narrative, man. Look at her monsters. When there was a tweet, I forget who tweeted it, but they were talking about all the blue chips that had tweeted in the last like week or two, and her monsters was the only floor that was above mint price. That's a great look and a great narrative for that project. That's great going forward, you know. And then you have all these projects minting for 350. I love old money, but 400, bro, that's really rough, man. That's really rough right now.
And I don't even know what they're doing. What do they do?
Damn, I was curious about that. So 400. The thing
and
is,
what do they do? What do they do?
I don't
know, man. I love them, and I'm pretty sure they watch a lot of our things, or I'm sure they're in here. So if they want to explain, I mean, that'd be cool. But I'm pretty sure it's like a fun community with art. I don't think it's much beyond that, which is fine. But I just think that mint price is a bit rough right now in this market. What I really wish projects would do is go down to like a 1,000 mint, right? And then just do like 100 ADA, 150, whatever it is. Maybe do it only for holders, give some rewards to the people who've been here, and then wait a few months. Let this play out. Let this like wash over people, and then raise the mint price by like 50 ADA, do another 1,000, let it play out. And if we're back in the bull market again, then just do your big one for 400. That's fine. We'll all be good.
It's crazy. I didn't even think about that, but they're not leaving meat on the bone for the holders. They're like, yo, I want my bag now.
Right.
Like all of them. It seems like everybody. And then once like Alley Cats or Ore or whoever like started the trend of it, you know, because remember the whole days of 1.8 deal. Like now all of a sudden people are like, okay, you know, we want this price, but you're asking Ethereum prices now. Because like a Kid Called Beast was like $150 to mint. Right. You're not getting the same risk reward on Cardano as you are on Ethereum. Like, there's no way your floor is going to be 10, 20x like a week or two after that. It might be 2, 3x, and then it's going to come tumbling down. Like, they need to provide. They're not providing. I don't know, man. It's sad. It's sad to see what's happening, honestly. I mean, we wanted it long ago, but you have to allow the holders a way to make money. If not, what the frick are we doing here? You know, like it makes no sense. Damn, I was curious about old money. So 400. I see Valentine with 62 whitelists. Are you gonna mint all of that, my brother? Or like straight up? That's like okay. So here he goes. 62 times 250. You're looking at 14,000 ADA, whatever, give or take. Are you gonna throw 14,000 ADA out there? I hope you do.
Bro, that's a lot of ADA.
That's a lot of ADA. Like,
that's a lot of belief. That's a
lot of belief. Like, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen? What do you need to pull?
Dude, Magic
to
Kong's
get
at
something?
189.
Yeah, I put in, dude, Magic Kong's like
That's
yesterday
half floor. That's a half floor.
or 2 days ago. They were at like 280 or 250 or something. I put in a floor offer for 190, and I woke up this morning and it went through, and my heart kind of sank. I was like, I didn't think it was gonna go through right away. I was like, come on, man, give me a day or two. But I mean, I do really like the art. I just, I think people are more worried about what is gonna, like, is it gonna take another year for something else to happen? Because it took so long for the shrooms that people are like, well, do I really have this kind of patience for another year?
Even if they bring stuff out, they bring out 3D Kongs or they bring out Kong's Garage. When your OG and your floor prices are down, it doesn't excite nobody. I'm sorry to be like materialistic or that type, but we are that. We didn't catch 600,000 USD. We didn't just get that bag. I don't care about you having to pay your team and shit. Like, you got to like reward the people that have been here for 15 months supporting you somehow by throwing them a bone to make me want to stay here. Like Ape Society. I didn't admit I tried. NFT Maker messed me up. But I had a bunch of whitelists for cabins. For 150 ADA, they allowed me the opportunity to make my initial investment back. Then they start doing the staking and start giving me society. I've recovered more society in ADA than I've ever put into the project. Like, it's just, you got to give me something back to make me want to keep giving you money. Like, I don't get it. Like, they could have done, like I said, this, not to beat a dead horse, they could have did the shrooms. I like the art kinda as well. I think it was a lot of work Deckard had to do, not putting that, over him. I respect him for doing all that. I love him. I've chilled with him at CNFT Content. It is what it is. But when you're talking about money, they needed to throw the shrooms to us last year. Then they needed to do Kong's Garage. Throw me some airdrop 3 parts. Like, let us play the Boss Cat Rocket game. Like, get hype. You got to maintain the hype. Like, you can't just be in the background and be a Discord project anymore. You have to be on Spaces. You have to be creating hype and momentum. That's what Ape Society does well. It seems like every month or two, something else is coming up. Oh, you slowed down on us? All right, well, here's a factory now, or whatever. Now they got to implement it, and it's got to be successful. If not, dude, they're going to move to the next project, or they're going to move to another chain. Right. But the liquidity is just not there on any of these. And whether or not be the same people recycling their money or not, it's not as many as before, because it's really like you got to get in and out in a day. If not, you're stuck. And then what you're going to do, I
mean, this went under floor 3 hours later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It went under floor 3 hours later. And I don't know what project, besides like Her Monsters or whatever, which was doing great, right? That didn't go kind of under floor, Ori. No, Ori was selling for like 190 or something like that when it minted for 252 or like whatever.
What this minted for?
Man, I forget. Was it 250? They're below now, I think, maybe.
Now.
But they weren't before. It may have been cheaper. It may have been like 180, 185 or something. Somebody in the chat knows. Help me out if you know.
Or like Alley Cats. What's Alley Cats at?
Oh, man.
Alley Cats is like 170 or something, man.
Man, really? Alley Cats, I really have faith in Alley Cats, at least as like a pump play. And I went a little too heavy. I can't get out.
Because these were like 300, right?
222.
Was it 222?
222. But that was the last project that actually like allowed you like almost a week to get on out. You know what I mean? It was rising. It hit 700. I thought it was gonna hit like 9. And then that's why I like delisted. I got greedy. I got like a 5-trait laser. I got, we were on the road, and I'm like, oh, I delisted Chrissy's shit. I'm like, man, now I still hold like 7. But I did get my initial investment back, and that's what I need to do. Yeah. But I want to see these projects, survive, and and thrive, and it's just, it's frustrating, man. But like I was talking about Her Monsters. Like, I mean, even though like what them apartments were like, I want to say 2008 at one time. You know what I mean? Like, but now they probably at 300-400. Look, 7. Hey, I don't have any of them, so I don't know. I don't follow it, but like, it's tough. Like, somehow people have to figure out how to not let their holders get wrecked. I don't know how. They need to do something. That's what Boss Cats was so fire at. Do we care?
Yeah.
No. Boss Cats was fucking awesome.
The thing with Boss Cats too. All right, so like, let me just say one thing about her monsters with the apartments. It was almost obvious that the apartments were going to probably go about half off because they were your whitelist to get the militia. So as soon as you get that utility, now it's gone, right? So that is what it is. It's hard to, take and add that back. Maybe they'll do another mint later. Who knows? They do have some other stuff coming up, but talking about like Boss Cats, they just kept bringing the hype. They were like, we're going to do this, then we're going to do that, then we're going to do this. And they burnt themselves out real quick, but they had a great 3 to 4 month run. It was crazy. So I don't know what's better though. Like, is it better to just like take the propane tank and just like unscrew it and light a match and just let it go? And then whenever it falls, and that's it. Like, or is it better to take these slower approaches and like just struggle?
I think it's better to light that shit on fire and then call a fire department after. You feel me? Like, Boss Cats was so fire, like straight up. Like, even though I didn't mint, and Christine, I was supposed to be our first mint, and then we minted Equine later on. Like 28 Boss Cats. Then they gave you rocket parts. Then they gave you freaking Vox things. Then they gave you land for 68. Like, they gave me the opportunity to keep making money off their success. So you can't say anything about it as a fail. It's a 28 a mint, like, and it's still here. I don't hold. We all faded, bro. We faded, but hey, they were unbelievable on how they gave rewards to their holders. Like, I minted 5 D5 lands. I bought the rockets off a secondary. Like, the thing that the coin they were supposed to have on December 28th or whatever, that kind of, they pushed that way back. It was the point is they made their holders money that were in from the beginning. And that's what I wish Kongs would have did. And that's what I wish every project going forward. You got to take care of your OGs, the people that have been there supporting you, the people that are in Discord or on Twitter. You don't need to worry about growing your ecosystem yet. You know what I mean? Like, that was the whole Magic Kong things. And I keep going back to that. They wanted to get new holders in, but that was at the expense of their OGs. And it shows by what they did, by giving them things last and this, that, and the other. So the projects that can figure that out, hopefully they're going to be around. If not, the floor price keeps going down, their royalties keep diminishing. They're going to have to either pay with their own money or ask for another mint, and then it's just not good, So it's hype cycles, man. You gotta be with them, and it's definitely gotten harder in this bad market. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about equine too. I know me and you were both pretty big on equine. How do you feel about equine at this current state?
Chrissy and Stitch had a space earlier with Fahad and Marek, and I think we're getting close. I want to say they said something about a new mint. I don't know what that was. They said they never was going to do it. I did not catch enough of the space to hear it, but I think it was 250 ADA, and I need to see what it's about. But I really am hopeful. We still own every horse. We actually won one in a giveaway, so now we got like 34, and we got them pretty colors and shit. That's what it's really about, like the colors, to where I'm ready to start breeding and selling them to people so I can recover my 8,000 ADA that we put in. And that was like $1 plus at the time of December 8th, 2021. So we put 8,000 or so ADA into it. I'm ready to start getting that back, because it's just like Kongs. You're not giving me any opportunity to make any money without selling my original collection, right? And I don't want to sell my horse. But if you keep pushing the finish line further out, it makes it much more difficult on not necessarily me, the people that have 3 or 4, 2 or 6, that they had in visions and goals of starting to make some money, but now it's 6-8 months longer, So I hope, Nick, and it's the same with Block Owls, and I love Fahad and all of them. I met them all. They need more engagement from the whole community. They need somehow to get their name out there, to get people excited to come buy a horse. Now, whether that happens when the game launches and people on Twitter Spaces racing, or I'm on there saying, yo, I just sold the Smoky Cream baby for 3,000 ADA, is that going to excite people? But until we're able to start breeding and racing, and get excited about it, see it right here, hovering around a 300 floor price like it's been pretty much from jump. I want to start really utilizing and playing the game, and it just takes sometimes longer than we want it to. And then, do we have the liquid, the foundation of ADA, or the patience to just ride it with them like we're on the team? All right, we'll get y'all when we get there. And they're out there. They do town halls. They do things, but it's a small ecosystem, small echo chamber. It's an echo chamber, sorry. Just like Block Owls, in a sense, that they need to somehow get more people into this project to make it excited. And then I think this has the potential, of course, it just we need to start getting there soon. And I hope to have it by June or July.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It does seem like a very tight-knit group, and that worries me when it comes to the game. Because if you have 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 guilds that are just owning everybody, then it disincentivizes people to want to try, because they feel like it's almost hopeless. Like, oh, well, this horse is always going to beat me, or depending on how the game's made. I mean, I'm not sure. There's there's nothing to base it off of. But I just worry that the best of the best might be owned by these few people, and it might just make it feel like it's pointless for the small guy to try to get in. That's my main concern, I think.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have tiers, and they're gonna try to not have that happen. It might be a 171 can only erase it, 171 to 179, or
they do that, but even still,
I'm with you, Nick. I don't know if they're gonna have handicaps involved, you get a 20-yard head start. I don't know what's gonna happen as far as that. That's just seeing other ecosystems like Finish Line or Zed Run and all the other ones. Once they came out, the hype came, and they had a way to make some passive income through breeding and racing. And I just hope it's not released in the extreme bear and there's just no hype around it, like you said, and only the few people, few hundred, 30, 50, however many people are playing this game. We need everyone to get involved, And what Money G says, a new mint. Chrissy, my wife, on my thing, I retweeted it. They did a space earlier. I caught the end of it. I think I'm correct, but please don't quote me. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new small mint, and I don't know why and what. I need to go ask Chrissy. She's not here. Yeah, exactly too. That's going to be big. If someone makes that, but
here go Chronic right here. Cardano Casino, baby. Let's go.
That's it. And and that it would work. You know what I mean? It's just it's tough, man. We need hype. We need people out here talking about it and getting excited. And then, there's only so much of that you could do. I stopped doing that with Ape Society long ago. People are tired of hearing me talk about my bags. You know what I'm saying? The shit gets old, right? It's not for me. I don't get paid by nobody. It ain't for me to be fucking marketing your project all the time. And then, you don't, then community members get upset. And, oh, he leaving this, that, and the other. Nah, man, I'm just tired. I've been doing this shit for 15, 16 months. All of us, plus, right, on Twitter Spaces and talking. I'm ready for some action. I'm not, I like to talk, but I'm about that action.
Yeah,
I'm ready to see some results in a lot of these things. And if not, I'm going to just accept my L's and move on and just not worry about certain things. But have a lot of high hopes for Equine still, man. And I love the team. I love how transparent they are. It's just like I keep going back to, the people in this ecosystem are impatient, and it should be. We're dealing with some risky ass shit.
Right. I mean, it's all ecosystems. Like you said, with the other things, like, yeah, they were fluctuating. You can probably make your 0.3 to 0.5 ETH, but you're going to have that one day where it's 0.3 to 0.1 or whatever, you know, and it's just because people aren't going to be patient with these, and you shouldn't be. I mean, as far as being a smart investor, you know, you can say that you're a paper hand. You can say you're not like about the team or about the community or whatever it is, but he's about his bag or she's about her bag, you know, like that's what it is. Like, we have to be, because we don't know you personally. I'm not your best friend. Like, I like you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not keeping my money here to support my best friend forever, and I don't care if I lose. Like, I do care if I lose. I'm here to win.
Of course. There's
It's
no
all-
better. Go clean. I talk too much.
You go.
It's no better thing for a community than, it sounds, you know, so surface. Like, the floor price needs to be higher than it was to make us want to hold and feel better. Like Nick said, like, I don't ever want to be losing money for anyone. I like you, I support you, but I don't want to like this throwaway ADA, like not minting all the friends things. Like, I'm not, if I don't see a way to make ADA, I'm not minting your things. I'm sorry. Like, I just can't. I have 4 children. I shouldn't, you know, we can say what we want. We playing with this. Like, even in the stock market, if I got 4 kids and I'm buying stocks that I shouldn't be buying to hold, I'm there to make money. And that's what people have gotten, you know. I don't know if teams get upset about that, but they making their money, you know. And if they don't have a product, that's why I haven't made a project yet. Like, or I haven't, because I don't feel something inside of my heart and my conscience to be like, yo, they're getting everything out there from me that I could. Other than an investment group, which I brought up to my homies way back when, and then Block did it. That's the only thing I could have done, right, to make me sleep at night. To know that I'm just doing what I do every day, being honest, open, and about projects, get you whitelist, and same kind of like what you do, Nick. Like, that's it. Like, that's the only thing I can do to make a project to, like, I could sleep at night, to be like, I'm not screwing these people over. To get my bag, like, oh, I'm going to make a profile picture and you're going to get an airdrop. Like, all right, dude, you'll rug in a minute. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm seeing it from a different perspective than I was. I was naive as hell way back when, thinking everything's a startup, everyone's faith, like, you know, respectable, and they're not going to screw you over or bullshit. You know, they're going to work harder than they do. You know, I've been, you know, the wool was pulled over my eyes some. Now it's like, yo, I'm out for me and my family, because who knows if we're going to be here next year. So I need to make sure I came into this with more than I left. I came in, you know, I leave with this more than I came in with.
Yeah.
100%. There was another topic I wanted to bring up too. CNFT Con is now going to be charging $10K per booth. What do you think about that for projects? I know a lot of people in my Discord were like, well, the bigger projects, 10K is nothing. You know, some of these people got $1 million per mint or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, that's true. But what about the smaller projects who are just starting out now? Like, you know, do they just not have a place? And is that okay?
Well, I thought they had like an 800 ADA booth, like a 10 by 10. I think the 16,000 ones you're referring to, Nick, are like the center one where like Journeys was, or like Chill Kongs. They had the carpet. Ooh, you get carpet, so you get a pay. Man, look, I would rather what Bourbon did last year. Bourbon had 20-something of us, and he got 2 things at Top Golf. He paid for our Top Golf, our food, our alcohol, and our food. It cost him a few grand, but his holders that signed up for it, that made me feel a lot better than getting one of his eyeballs, you know, at a booth. So like these people, like we were talking yesterday with Serge and Ugly Bros and a few other projects, like they might do some more personalized things like Old Money did. Old Money rented out. If you held a bill in that, remember, you got to go to that old, you know, that cool bar, and you got your drinks. That to me is worth more than go to CNFT Con and talk to you. Like, go, we'll talk what's up, but you don't need a booth. Who are you going to sell? Like the same people that are on Twitter, like we're not growing this ecosystem like that. Like straight up, like if you're not buying someone's project like now, or you have not the last year, you think by me meeting you at CNFT Con now is going to make me purchase your shit? No, bro. Like you should have sold me way long ago. So I hope they start doing more individual things like, yo, I'll throw a party. I'll throw dinner for y'all. Let's go buy you sushi. You know, I'll give everybody $100 to gamble and we sit here and we bullshit. To me, that's what I want if we go to CNFT Con again this year. I want more of that. I want more personalized shit and more with groups to have fun. I want to have fun, like type of thing. And I think a lot of people and projects are not going and doing these booths because they don't see the ROI for them. They're going to spend 15 grand and they're going to get like 2 NFT sales. Like, what's the point? So it's going to be tough in the crosswords. And I think Adam Dean yesterday on the Twitter space was, you know, now it's, they might go NFT LV, right? Which sounds better, you know, than CNFT, because now they might go pluck some polygons. Normies. Come on, normies. Come on, Bitcoin ordinals. Come on, shitty ETH project that don't want to be next to Yuga. You know, now it's not just a Cardano convention. It's a all kind of chains convention. Then all these other, now they might need to buy a booth because they feel like they can capture more of a different chain or a different audience. But if the same ecosystem, it's just like we talking about these projects. You're talking to the same people, bro. Like it doesn't make sense.
It's a $10,000 meet and greet, basically.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point, though, to get other NFTs there other than just Cardano. I think that's a great idea because we do need to implement a way to get more people here. Like everybody talks about liquidity. We can't get liquidity from the same guy. Like you're not just waiting for his paycheck, you know, like he's not going to get paid enough to support everybody. And neither is everybody's small paycheck. We just need more people. It's as simple as that. But the solution isn't simple. You know, it's just, it's tough, man. What's up, Ben? What's up, homie?
What's up, Ben?
We got Ben. We got Dusty. What's up, Orman? We got Simo. What's going on, guys? If you just joined, bro. What's up?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, we all still learning. That's what we all here still learning, Dusty. Ain't nobody, you know, don't take my word for gospel, bro. I'm just venting. I haven't got to vent online on a live stream in a while. So just talking my shit, man. You ain't got to listen to it. I'm still learning every day, but these projects need to learn a little quicker than us investors, collectors, because we're investing, we're putting our money where, you know, they should already have that plan thought out, ready to implement it. And there's no reason Ethereum and Polygon or Solana can do things that Cardano can't. If there is that much of a barrier, why am I here? Why are everyone here when they can go automatically implement something on Solana the day after you mint or ETH the day after the mint? Like the ball is rolling. They're revealing shit. It's just like a SIP 68 thing. Like why? I'm tired of the excuses. That's just it. I'm seeing through the bullshit. I got my bullshit detecting goggles on, and I'm just not supporting that no more. Whether it's in my wallet or not, like you got me, but like it's kind of discouraging for some of the projects that I'm holding. What's happening? How much ADA I let go to waste from simple shit like Cardano Village or freaking ADA Realms or whatever. I minted crazy shit. Now it's it's rugged. It's 5 ADA. It's rugged. Like there was 700 USD at one point. Now they're nothing. So the longer you sit in your wallet, whether you pay attention or not, the more chance of it going to zero. Right. And it because they don't have no money. In a business, you need money to keep growing. You need customers, you need money. Like it's not seeming, so
what's that gambling website with the rocket ship and it goes up and then eventually it just crashes, and if you don't get out, while it's going up, that's what it feels like.
I think it's fake money, but yeah, it like pumps pretty hard. I don't know. It's illegal in America. So we can't play it unless we have a VPN.
Which now they trying to say you're gonna like go to jail for 20 years and shit if you use a VPN. Some nonsense.
Well, like you can't play what?
I forget what it's called. It's like I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. People used to stream it on Twitch all the time.
Oh, you're talking about the gambling. Yeah, the gambling site. It had a I want to say it starts with an R, but I don't know. Steve Will Do It used to play it online.
Right.
I think he got banned for it or something like that.
Right, because it's considered gambling.
Right. I mean, it definitely is. But June James, what's up, homie? Says, what do you think about OG Bears? I mean, I guess I'll start. I was community manager for maybe over a year. I recently left because I got a part-time job, no like shame to the team or nothing like that. It was just, I'm busier. But, they did a good job, I think, at first. They even got mentioned on like BitBoy's channel, like briefly, and that shot them up. And then after that, there was just like a lot of lack of communication. And I think that's where the floor price just started dipping. Like it was like once every month or two, there kind of be an announcement. And I just feel like teams need to do a better job of that. There were almost 0 Twitter spaces. I think they did 1 or 2. So I just think they really lack in communication. But, other than that, they're there, like they're not, it doesn't feel like they're rugging. I was there. I could talk to anybody on the team at almost any given day, except for Baba, the main guy, because he's like, developer's got a full-time job and other stuff going on. But I don't know, man. It's hard to say like what any of these projects are going to do long-term. They are building and they do have some cool things coming up. I know they have like a mini game coming up with Ben from Bad Fox. They're going to have like Bad Fox racing in their game. So they got some things coming out. But I'll be bullish once I start seeing some things being released rather than like dev updates. You know what I'm saying? That's just me though.
So this guy has questions about Ethereum. Ethereum, like, okay, don't be scared of Ethereum. Just don't click any links. That's all you have to do.
I got something else for him. All right. You need a DGen wallet, which you're going to connect to sites, right? You need a MetaMask, like a little shitty wallet that, like, if I minted something today, I minted this PETA, whatever, little teddy bear thing that hatches. I'm going to have a burn wallet, which is basically that, a little shitty wallet that just connects to sites with barely anything in it, right? You're going to have another wallet like that connects to OpenSea or Blur that is a trusted site, and you only have that wallet to buy and sell on OpenSea or Blur. Then you're going to have a ledger that you don't connect to nothing, to where, you don't click on anything with that. You're clicking on the risky shit with your little wallet that has no ETH in it, barely any ETH in it, and the crappy NFTs at all rugs. So you have 3 wallets, and if you play that right, my man, coming from someone who was scammed by a link on Cardano on ETH, they drained my gutter cat game stuff. Like, so I feel you. But just have 3 different wallets. Like one that you connect with crazy sites, one that you only connect with OpenSea to buy and sell off the marketplace, and then have your ledger where you kind of, it's cold and off. That is the best method to me.
You don't have any more gutter cats?
I sold everything except one clone. That shit's done in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you said you got scammed or whatever.
Well, this was back when one of my homies he gave me a juice when the juice was like 500 USD. Then end up getting me excited about the project. We spent a little bit, and then I clicked the link in Ugly Bros Discord back in the day, and trying to say they were minting the potions, and they hacked Serge's his thing. It was actual something they got into Sergio's Discord and was talking as Sergio. So so they drained like a few hundred, and Serge took care of that for the people. You know what I'm saying? Sergio is one of the best freaking founders, one of the most amazing dudes, in this Cardano ecosystem. He manned up, and he didn't have to take care of me. I didn't get full value, but I got more than I should have because it was a learning lesson. I had a ledger the whole time. Didn't touch it, just sat in the box with the wrapper on it. The next day, I had my ledger set up, had a burn wallet, then my Coinbase wallet. It could be MetaMask Coinbase wallet with OpenSea and Blur, where I'm buying off of legit marketplaces. Then I got my ledger, to where sometimes you still got to connect to like verify your stuff, but it's like you can see, oh, I'm sending out one asset, whereas that day I clicked on a link, and by the time I did it, the shit was gone. And a lot of the homies do. So I understand his perspective, but if you do that 3 wallet technique, you won't have no issues. Just like I said, one to buy and connect to shit that you never buy and then The one with the marketplace and then a ledger, and you'll be all right.
I want to say too, if anybody is going to buy a ledger, don't buy it off of Amazon. Don't buy it from a third party. Buy it straight from Ledger, just because you don't know if they're going to like open up the box and then write down your passphrase or whatever and then put it back in the box. So just be careful with that. Yeah, that's basically all I want to say. Also, I see Ozar in here. What's up, homie?
What's up, buddy?
homie? And he said, I see them building behind the scenes with Bad Fox Motorcycle Club, but I also agree there needs to be more forward attention. Same thing with Chains of War. Yeah, I know, Dusty, you're a part of Chains of War a little bit, so you probably got the inside scoop on that. And he said there's a lot of stuff being developed, but not a lot of communication. That's probably the biggest problem with like 90% of projects.
Right.
Like, we know it's going to take forever for Cornucopias to develop everything they want. But every week they have their podcast, they have their things, they have their updates, they talk to us, right? It still doesn't stop their price from going down every once in a while. But if they never did that, could you imagine what it would be right now?
It would be, yeah. It goes to the patience of the person. We only have so much liquidity and so much patience of dealing with it. And then who's going to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years? I mean, it sounds good until like the days go by and you realize, damn, 2 weeks is a long time, let alone years, bro. Like, they need to start, anyone who's doing a 3 to 5 year approach, you better have a lot of things in between that other than just sucking liquidity to get mints. Again, if you're going to mint and your thing you're minting is going to drop right below floor price, you're not helping me out. Like, you need to give me a bone with some meat on that thing so I can eat and then wait to the next one. Like, not just give you money and then it automatically goes below mint. Like, yeah.
I think people get confused though, because I see so many projects that are like, yeah, we're gonna mint, but then we're gonna do an airdrop of tokens, and then we're gonna airdrop this like random piece of art that our artist worked on before the real project was made. And I'm just like, that's cool, but like, I need something that's gonna actually have real value, something that's gonna guarantee me to make some money. But these like airdrops, all they're doing is taking some money out of your wallet that we just gave you, and then you're given like kind of a little bit of value back. I don't know. It's just, I think there's got to be something that's stronger than that we get given. We can't be given like, it's like somebody that's like trying to do good, but like doesn't want to put in too much effort is kind of what it feels like.
Thanks. No, I just, I'm wondering what the next new like meta is, right? Is it a coin? Is it a metaverse? I don't see being a play anymore. It's just, it's done. So I'm really wondering like kind of what the next thing to do is, right? But it's 100% about community. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with community and having that, but it's like, well, I mean, we'll see what the next meta is. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think Ape Society is so layered with different things that it's kind of hard to enter into it right now and get a full scope unless they have like a 24-hour live stream explaining everything that they have, you know what I mean? To where it's like that, which might be an idea, where it's like, hey, welcome to Ape Society. Watch, here's the video tutorial. This is what we have. This is what you can do with it. This is what you earn. This is what you should do. Like blah, blah, blah. This is what we're coming out with, right? Just have that on loop in the fucking Discord or whatever. But it's like, they have such a layer that it's kind of like you're waiting for it to unfold, right? So they're keeping you guessing. Congo does a good job at keeping you guessing what's coming up next. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for it. After that, I don't know, man, because after that, the only other blue chip that I see what might be Clay's. You know,
I was gonna say, you got to mention Clay, man. I know they do build a little slower in the background. You don't always see, or hear like an announcement, but then when you do, it's a lot of the times a pretty fire announcement, with like, Snoop Dogg, and then you had Good Charlotte, and then you had the pitches and some cool stuff, and then we had the music and the music video, and I thought all of that was like really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And you got a sneak peek of their metaverse that they're building and stuff like that, but you get those announcements so infrequently that people aren't like looking at it. People aren't necessarily like in the Discord checking every day, because why would you? It's not coming that often.
Like, and everybody asked me, it was like, why do you move the way you move? Why did you move like over to Solana for Utes and stuff? Why did you move to Ethereum and stuff? It's like the best thing that I could have done right there was just sell 83 Kongs. Sell 83 Kongs, right? Do whatever it takes. Get out. Go to Utes, put it in there, and then I was putting it into Utes when the show was at like 126. I sold a couple Utes when the price of Solana dipped to 8. So what I was thinking was, okay, it's not going to stay at 8 or whatever. So I sold for like 160, right? 170 sold. And then once the price of Sol went back up to 22 bucks, 21 bucks, I sat there and bought back in, and I could buy more, And so it was like, it's like Chronic said, man, you can support a team and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you got to support yourself. Like, bro, it's about a bag. It's about making the next move, and doing it. And that's why I don't know what the next play is. I don't know what the next play is on Cardano. I love Cardano. Like I said, my heart is in Cardano. I'm always going to come back to Cardano. But the thing is like every single thing that I'm doing on Ethereum, like I'm not in Ethereum. I don't care about Vitalik, dude. I ain't taking pictures with Vitalik. I'm taking pictures of Charles Hoskinson. You know what I'm saying? He's the dude I want to talk to. And so, I think it all leads back here, but I want to see something first. You know what I mean? I want to see something.
Now, I got a question too. If we were in a bull market, and I don't mean a CNFT bull market, I mean a regular bull market for crypto and stocks, do you think NFTs would also continue to struggle, or would they be popping off too?
I think they'd be popping off.
Yeah.
And do you think with Cardano shooting up, let's say to $3 again, or we'll stay modest, let's say it goes to 150 again, do you think, all these prices, equines, think it's still going to be 266 if that were to happen tomorrow? Or do you think it would drop down to like 100 because it's like similar USD value?
I think
it's
going to
go up.
I think it's going to go up to hit that, just like what Utes does. You always look at Utes. It's always about what Sol price. So it's always the USD price, and that reflects. That's what Ethereum and Solana does. Cardano does it opposite. I feel like if something's 2,000 USD, it's going to reflect on the crypto price. Like it'll be 1.2 ETH, or like Clean said, 150 Sol. And if it drops, Solana price drops to Solana like to $8, it's going to go to 250 Sol. Like it's going to compensate that. People don't just take losses like they do here. Like they're going to raise their prices in accordance to the crypto price. Whereas Cardano just seems like the shit goes down, they'll put it lower rather than put it higher. But I get what you're saying. If it goes too high, that was a reason why I sold a King, was because if things get to $10.80, you think they're going to pay $180,000? Hell no. You know what I mean? So you got to get in while you can and get that bag of crypto, when it's there for the taking. And that's the hard part, But another thing is, go ahead, Clean. You have something to say. I want to touch on something.
I'm straight listening to you the entire time.
All right.
I got a question after this though for you.
All right, perfect. So what's the next meta? What y'all asked? I think with this SIP 68 and the evolution of NFTs, and I think they can change and all this stuff, like the metadata can change, kind of like Ethereum with the reveals. I think that they're gonna have to play on that because there's exciting things to like, yo, this is reveal, and hype it up, and then it reveals, and then it's something else happens 5 days later. It morphs into something else. That seems to be the only thing, like in my opinion, that could be exciting, upcoming. But what you said was how you did with Kongs and you flipped into Sol or you flipped into ETH. That's another play that people don't really look at. Like, see how much they say, like right now, it's like 4,300 ADA, 4,500 ADA to get one ETH. ETH's now like 1,900. When Cardano was like 60 something cents, we swapped a lot of Cardano for ETH when ETH was like 1,000. So Cardano went from 60 to 40. So you lost 33%, and ETH almost doubled. You see, from like 1,000 to 1,900, or 1,300 to 1,900, or 1,500, which it was like 2 weeks ago, right? It was at 1,500. Cardano was at 40. So now it went up 25%, 30%, and Cardano stayed the same. So by you playing in these different ecosystems, you can also pull out and get into that coin and jump it back into Cardano and double, triple, 5, 10x. But you got to be smart. And it's the same. You not just play NFTs. You kind of got to look at the coin, a lot more. I wasn't doing that as much. But once it hits them prices, like the, certain prices to where, okay, back in the day when I did it, it was 2,500 Cardano for 1 ETH. Then it got up to like almost 6,000 Cardano for 1 ETH. You could see that flip. So like Tal plays that the best. You know what I mean? Like miss having them spaces with like us DJs talking about that type of thing. We're missing that with all the negativity in this bear market. Like we're not capturing the potential of these cross chains by moving. Like Matic, before Utes went over, Matic was at 80 cents. Within 3 days, the shit was at like 140. Like that's plays to where we as crypto people should be paying attention more. And I don't do it well enough, but I'm starting to see that. And that is another big way to grow your stack, to grow your bags if you're paying attention. Because now you're looking at Polygon, you're looking at Solana, you're looking at ETH in addition to Cardano. Start throwing them in a calculator and seeing how much Cardano would equal 1 Matic. Okay, so 1 Cardano is 5 Matic. And then when it's like 1 equals 2, you flip it or something. You know what I mean? Like it's another way to play the game. And to make something, in my opinion. But yeah, then the meta to me, man, has to be some sort of evolution, evolving NFTs. I think that's what like the passports are supposedly going to do. They're going to change, and they have other things. So hopefully some builders come out and start, surprising us with what we got going on. Because the same old shit, like Nick said, like, oh, we're going to give you a coin that's worth nothing, and that's worth nothing, and this piece of art that's worth 2 ADA. Like, I don't want that. But that's for us now. We're becoming more savvy collectors to where, you're not going to fool me on that. They fooled me 5 months ago on that. You're not going to get me on that. And even if it does sound great, man, you're going to have to prove it to me more so than just me throwing around ADA. Like my man Valentin said, if it was at 150 ADA, all 62 are minted. But now, since you're throwing that thing up to 250, 300, the meat, someone ate off his plate. Like, I get you got to pay the team, but you also got to think about your community and the secondary sales, man, which it seems these projects aren't doing enough of.
It's just, yeah, it's a difficult position because it's like, yeah, I try to sympathize with both sides, right? It's kind of like, okay, so the team needs money, but at the same time, like the holders are going to carry the project. It's like, well, do you sacrifice one time and then the next time capitalize a little bit more, right? So it's like, why? Okay, have a decent mint price, right? So if you're going to have a decent mint price, like let's say it's like 300 ADA, right? That's a decent mint price. That should afford you to give something back to the community, right? Back to the holders first and foremost. So that way you can get that money churning, right? On secondary. People are going to FOMO in, other shit like that, right? And then after that, develop what you got to develop, right? So have a little bit higher mint price, but give something back initially that'll hold the community over until you develop what you develop, right? And just keep it going. I think I don't know what team does that the best. I don't know if any. I don't know. All I know is that I had a question. Chronic, are you going to sit on that ADA that you got from the king until, or do you have any aspirations to cash out at all, or no?
Yeah, I had to cash out half of it a while back for IRL shit. Hate to do that type of thing, but you know, that's the point. I try to be as patient as possible, but the bills don't stop coming in. I got the, you know, like I said, the 4 kids, and I got a lot of bills every month that, you know, I'm self-employed. You know, lost a job. The wife, you know, business might not be booming like it was, blah, blah, blah. Like, I need to get some money, and then I have to cash out. But I have high hopes, you know, to sit here, you know, for the bear market. I have more ADA than I had before. So that's a good thing. And I expect it to go back up, but, you know, it's just a waiting game.
Yeah, because I was thinking the whole time, I was like, man, all he has to do is wait for Ada to hit 3, and he's set for life, dude.
Yeah, you would think.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that did, man. You know, but and then you know the months go by, and the months go by, and the months go by, and it's like shit. It's going down because I saw the king. It was like at 47 cents. You know, and then I end up capitulating at 31 cents. So how you like that, bro? I was expecting. I sold the day of the SBF crap. That shit went from 40 cents to 30 cents or 27. And I'm like, oh my God, is this the 15 cents? I'm going to sell some and buy back. And what it did, hit 24 cents and went back up. But like, I got scared. No matter how many times I've been in the same position in the traditional finance with the pink sheet stocks, dude, that shit moves so quick. And when you see them thousands and tens of thousands just start to go away, man, you get scared and you got to sell. And I had to secure some. Literally 2 days later, it went up to like 38 again. So I lost like $7,000 in that day and a half by being a sissy face. But it is what it is. I had to secure something. I was expecting ADA to go over 50 cents. I was watching Dan with CCV. Oh, it's about to hit this thing. It just jumped up, blah, blah, blah. And then SBF comes out. Like, what? Come on. Like, it's unforeseen things that we don't know nothing about other than when to push that sell button. And it was way too many times in the last 5 years of my life, I was too slow to push the sell button. And that eats at me up here all the time. I could have did so much shit different, but I'm trying to take them lessons I've learned and not let it eat me up. But then when the time comes again to be ready, like in this next bull, I'm going to sell. Now, whether or not I got to wait another year plus clean, and hopefully I can, I still should be set, hopefully, with the bag that we have. Like, give me a few $100K. I'm going to make it nice. I'm going to make it work.
Would you keep reinvesting in NFTs?
Absolutely. Yeah. I find this is my niche. I have like NFTs are my niche. I have decent street smarts. I'm pretty smart where I can learn these deep projects and go deep and read the white papers. I enjoy that. But yeah, I find I have a niche with these NFTs to where in the stocks I don't. It's just black and white with stocks. I don't feel like reading P&Es. I don't care about, you know, whatever. Like, but this here I can kind of get in person and, you know, face to face or interview these people and kind of get that vibe. And if the entry points and the opportunities present themselves to where there's some meat on the bone still, I can win. And yeah, I'm gonna always try to be stacked. And this is the best way, in my opinion, to be stacking the cryptos of your choice. But it's very easy to learn because you can double up, triple up, and like you said, you could have took them 83 Kongs and then put it into something that went down instead of going up. And then all of that fire play you made is for naught. And that's what people that flip a lot don't realize. You only got to flip like 7 times to like get $1 million or some shit if you do it. But you know how hard it is to flip like double up 7 different times? Like you're going to find something that 50, 60% loses.
I told Nick, I said, I can afford a mutant in 9 days if I keep doing this.
Right.
you know.
Right.
And right now I'm like 3 ETH off buying a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of me is just like, take money out of your account, just throw it in there, get a mutant real quick, and then that's it. But at the same time, I mean, if I sold all of my ETH and shit in Utes, I could probably buy 2, right?
But then you won't have any ETH to play around with,
But then I
right?
won't have ETH to play around
That's
with, right?
another
You're
thing.
correct. So instead, I not only that, I'm 3 ETH away from getting. I also hold 3 of the heavy metals, and then I hold 5 Utes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm set. Like, I'm good. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you could sell your 5 Utes and your 3 heavy metals and buy a mutant plus some, but do you see more upside with the other things? And that's
on
another
playing
thing.
that. And that's what I'm going to do. I mean, these are going to evolve into like mechs. You know what I'm saying? And the art looks fire, dude, on them. The art looks absolutely awesome. And plus, it's Yuga Labs thing. It's a
Right.
Bored Ape thing. You
Right.
know?
And then you get poop dragons. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, they just dropped something, 2 things yesterday, 2 more things.
Yeah.
What it's called? They one
Other side.
5,000 other side
And then the
extravaganza
vessels.
or something. Yeah, the vessels and the other side extra or some
Extended.
shit. Extended. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you see what Yuga does? It's always giving back. Imagine you got a Bored Ape. You got a dog. You know, it looks like Shiba. You got freaking mutant. You got serums. You got freaking the mint of land. You're getting all of this shit for free. Literally a Bored Ape. I mean, obviously that's what we all, hope we can get our hands on one day as far as just, but the project took care of their holders so much. Like, come on, let me get one of those. Like, that's why when my homies were telling me, oh, you should buy a mutant. I could have bought 4 mutants with that king sale, right? That and it went down to 10. That would have been the perfect swing. Swing it here with the 20. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I needed half of that money for IRL, so I had to capitulate. But would I have played it right? Would I have bought him at 10 and sold at 20? Oh, no, I would have probably held him back down to 12 because I would have got a ticket, a sewer pass or whatever. But, like, there's ways to play, and if you can just, take your money out and put it in the right place, it's a lot easier said than done. But, I mean, there's opportunities out there for sure. And Yuga does it the best. But I think mutants and having them, like I keep telling the homies, like, I think I missed out. And they keep dropping more things. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing. And I don't think like I'm considered part of the ecosystem. I'm not considered like officially in, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm holding a Yuga asset, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't get me into Ape Fest or like whatever. I don't care. I'm still a part of that ecosystem. So guess what? Now I get to take off from where this is. Like I get to play the game that they're coming out with next.
Right.
I get ApeCoin. I get like their mech. You know, I have one that I'm going to keep. 2, I'm just going to hopefully that thing takes off.
Yeah, for real.
I can peace out with them and then do whatever I want and throw it back into ADA or whatever. But it is very interesting what they have done for their holders. You have gotten so much shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to ask too, because I know that you say that you don't really like, trading stocks or anything like that. But as far as like, you flipping out of here, going into that, flipping out of here, would you put your money into a dividend stock or into a stock that you believe in long term? Because, this is what I was trying to tell my dad, because my dad is a DJ and just like us. I love him for it. But he'll go and during this bear market, I'll go look at his account with him and help him out. And he'll be buying like Macy's calls and like random asset calls that aren't doing good. And I'm like, bro, we're in a bear market. It takes all the thought out of it. All you have to do is buy Apple. It's 50% off. Well, Apple's not 50% off, but Microsoft was like 50% off at one point. I bought Amazon at like $88. Like, are you kidding me? When am I going to get that again? Like, it takes all the thought out of it. So I was just wondering if you would ever take some assets out and do that.
Yeah, in the future, I worked for ExxonMobil for a bunch of years, like 8 years in the oil refinery. So I had a bunch of ExxonMobil stock, and then they got bought out by PBF Energy. Well, for COVID, Exxon dropped from $28. I sold all my Exxon stock like at 93 a few years back But I was watching it when I started at the job. It was in 2008. The share price was like $58. So I was DCAing 20% of my paycheck into that for years. So when COVID happened, Exxon dropped to $28, bro. Exxon now is at $116 a share. It's a dividend stock. It's about as short thing as you can get. So I told my parents, yo, buy Exxon. They bought at 40. And so they're getting a dividend every 3 months. But yeah, absolutely. But I'm an entry point dude, Nick. I have that sickness to where I know it was at 40. I'm not going to buy it 116. But Exxon, in my opinion, is going to split because it split 7-8 times in its history. And usually when it hovers over $90 for like 6 months to a year, historically it's split. So in my opinion, at 116 right now, it'll split. It'll turn into $58 a share, right? If it does, that would be an entry point I would buy into something like that. But yeah, I mean, again, you just got to make sure you're moving into them stocks and not buying a top as well. Again, but yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that the other day. Missed out on Tesla a lot. I kept thinking Tesla was done, and then it splits and it's 5x. It's like people are like, oh, it's at this. Well, dude, it was just at $4,600 and it split 5 times. Now it's at $900. So you're really spending $4,500 a share. You know that? Then it gets up again, it splits again or some shit. And I'm like, freak. It's like, but yeah, man, that's definitely not a bad move, especially for people that, that are a little less risk adverse as we are. But yeah, I want to buy into some shit like that. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely do that.
Do you think we hit the bottom, Nick? I don't think so, bro. I do not think so.
I believe you asked me a question.
Come on.
Nah, but like I don't necessarily think we're gonna go lower. To be honest, I called this out months ago. I was saying I think we might have hit the bottom. And I said that months ago, but I was saying we may go back and retest it. But I don't think we have any bearish news that's going to top the bearish news that we had before. Right now, we are in such a crazy time. This was actually one of the topics I want to bring up too, Chronic. We had banks fail, and the bank failures or the bank runs, which caused the failures, turned out to be bullish for the market because they have to. Well, they don't have to, but they're choosing to lower, or they're choosing to raise rates by a smaller amount, and eventually they're going to pause/lower rates because they don't want to have to keep bailing out these banks. So if inflation continues to go up and we get lower rates, then we're no longer combating inflation. And so what are we going to do? We're going to be kind of screwed. That's the only scenario that I think we're really screwed. But if we can start to see, because all these reports that we get week after week and every quarter, those are from the previous like quarter or two. It's all delayed information. So eventually we're going to see that inflation is coming down, right? But then after that, we'll start to see the real data of when they've paused. And if the data shows after they've paused and after they've lowered rates that inflation is either like maintaining itself or going down a little bit, then things will be okay. I think the only like crash scenario is if they lower rates and inflation goes absolutely crazy. But I think it's going to take about 6 to 7 months before we get to a spot where that's going to play out.
Well, wait, what about, okay. So
or maybe even a year, maybe longer.
What about this though? And with China and Russia and Brazil taking the American dollar out of the standard.
Yeah, BRICS. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, what about that?
Honestly, I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm not like too versed on how global currencies bounce off of each other like that and how that's going to affect everything. I would be, grasping at straws here, and I don't even want to, speak on something I'm not too intelligent on. But yeah, that's a good point.
So the petrol, right? So oil and everything else essentially is based on an American standard US dollar, right? Well, China had an agreement with Russia, Brazil, Argentina, a couple different other countries, right? And Iran,
India,
right? Which has
South Africa,
the largest population in the world. They're in talks, and they've already agreed to remove and create their own standard currency for the petrol, so the oil and other things like that. Oil runs the world. I don't know if you know that, but it does.
Yeah, no, I know that, and I know that the U.S. dollar is the one that's always been traded for the most part,
and it's not.
So, yeah,
it's not going to now, and so that's going to lead to hyperinflation. Okay, because our dollar ain't going to be worth jack diddly squat at that point. All of our stuff is imported from China. All of our stuff is imported from somewhere, and so we're not becoming more independent. We're becoming more relied on people who no longer go by our currency. And so now
I will
it's like,
say with chips though, Micron is building this giant factory. It's like one of the largest factories in the world. It should be finished, I want to say, in like 2 years, where they're going to start to develop chips in America so that we don't need to rely on chips from China, which became very apparent why that's such a bad idea during COVID. So that's why I did buy into some Micron. But I mean, that's not the only asset that we get from China. So we're going to start to have to do more of that to try to combat this. But even still, I mean, yeah, it's also a weird thing because we're trying to move away from oil. We're trying to go EV. And if we could do it quick enough, like maybe the oil wouldn't be so bad. But, that's so much money that we bring in from oil.
We're never going to be able to get around oil. Okay. Like
Not
charging
for a long
charging stations, right? How are those powered? Through energy, which is done by oil. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you do,
make plastics,
how you try to spin it, bro. This oil, this table, oil, this computer, oil, his headphones, oil, bro.
Everything's
I'm
oil.
Telling you, you are not going to be able to get around it.
At some point, though, I do feel like we could get, like, we're going to need to have oil to build electronics. But if we could use oil to build electronics that then build electronics, we could kind of get to that point, right? No?
No.
Look, wherever they get like that money's keep coming in. They like, back in the day, Tesla invented the electric car, right? And then JP Morgan Chase said, if you cannot meter it, we're not using it, meaning like the little speedometer and the tachometer or whatever the car. They want to make money off it. Like it said the other day, I seen some dude put water in the car and drove from LA to New York in 1 gallon, like with water. Like they don't want that. They're gonna make sure they keep fucking lining their pockets. But what you said too, Nick, like Intel's building a $20 billion plant in Columbus as well, with the semiconductors. That's another stock like NVIDIA and shit like that. Like I sold out of that, and Shopify is not that. But there's a lot of stocks, like you said, that could do it. But semiconductors is definitely the way of the future. But oil, man, the hydrogen, if they're gonna do like the next thing, it might be hydrogen fuel cell technology, to where hydrogen is like the most abundant element in our atmosphere, to where if we freaking, they go in a pump and they'll put like the thing in, instead of the gas comes out, it's hydrogen. That's more likely to happen. And I think it's all BS, to be honest with you. I think it's all BS as a talking point. But that's just my opinion. I don't even want to. I go 10-4 when it comes to this, with the monetary and the currencies and the special drawing rights and the World Economic Forum and the IMF all having like a 5 basket of currencies: the yuan, the yen, whatever, the Japanese dollar, the yuan, the pound, the sterling, and us. I think it's all planned by these people. And again, I'm just being a goofball conspiracy. I don't even want to talk about it, but I can't help myself.
Hey, man, we all go down the rabbit hole. And I think a lot of the times, man, these conspiracy theories are more right than wrong. Not all of them, but there's a lot of truth behind a lot of these things. And JD, I wanted to bring this up. I'm glad you said it. He said, I love EV, but we'll never obliterate coal or oil unless we go nuclear. And this is actually why during the bear market, I'm starting to buy a little bit of URA. It's uranium. It's a ETF on uranium. So I believe that we're going to start to go nuclear. And we've already seen other countries starting to adopt or reopen nuclear power plants that have been shut down for years. So I really don't think nuclear is something to be too scared of. I don't. I think it's a great option.
It definitely is. China built 20 nuclear plants for the same price they're building 2 in Georgia. This shows you how efficient they are as opposed to the U.S., how they spend money. But check out like lithium stocks as well. Check out lithium, obviously with the batteries. And then like if you like ETFs and shit, Nick, like look at the gold ETFs, man. Like gold, you know, is going to pop eventually. But gold is so manipulated, so is silver with the paper. But, you know, if and when we go off the petrodollar, like gold is universal. So is silver. Yeah, man, it's definitely wild. We come into CBDCs, we coming in the Fed now. Like this is all what they want. They want to track us so they can tax you. That's all it's about. They want your data and to make sure that they get 13 cents on a dollar, whatever the freak they get in each state, 35 cents. It doesn't matter. Like they want to know, oh, you transferred that money, Venmo? Oh yeah, you that's income and whatever. And that's just all what it's about. And it's gonna be hard. And hopefully we're the people that have taken the risk and actually benefit when they do moon this. And hopefully it actually does shoot to the moon and this isn't all a fad because, you know, but yeah, man, it's definitely interesting what's happening in politics worldwide, no doubt, especially with the oil and that. And it's all kind of planned out, in my opinion. Same shit you've been listening since COVID. All of it's probably on the same YouTube rabbit holes. Like, it's all been being said for 3.5 years now. Now it's finally coming into fruition. And it's the same thing that kind of happens. They just bore you to death and they grind you out to where you forget about talking about this. So you would listen to this shit for a year. Then it's like, all right, it didn't happen yet. So then you stop listening to it. And then the next thing you know, it's 2-3 years later, it's happening. You just got to stick to it, be consistent, and be patient. And they're patient. The people up top and running all these, making these policies, they're patient. They got 10, 20-year plans. Like we're trying to be instant. And then that's the thing. Like we'll sell out of a lot of things. I sold out of so many great things because I didn't like the 2% of return every month or year. You know what I mean? Like, and then next thing you know, something happens and it all skyrocket, you know. And but it's a tough game we playing, man. It's fun though, because not anywhere else, you know, you can kind of hit home runs like this or you know, or you strike out. But I mean, I'm tired of being in a rat race, you know, making a little bit of money and getting taxed and all of that shit. So this here is what I see as, you know, next couple of years, hopefully it's life changing. If not, I'm going to have some life stories, man, because I was fooled.
Yeah, 100%, man. Just letting everybody know we did hit the 2 hour mark. This is normally when we end it. So just wanted to appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, Chronic, for coming out, man. It's been so long. Another crazy, amazing conversation with you, man. I always love your passion.
Thanks, man.
Clean, you came with a lot of energy today too, man. Freaking love you, baby.
Appreciate
Here every day, baby.
Hey, one more thing before y'all go. Clean, I thought you were holding a kid called Beast. You're not holding no more?
I'm not holding right now.
Did you hold some in the past?
Yeah.
You sold. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I had 3. I sold at 2.5, man.
Motherfucker, bro. You gotta hit me up, bro.
Now
you gotta hit me up, bro.
I should have bought back at least one at 0.7.
Yeah.
So now it's at 0.98. So I'm wondering where it's
hit a WETH offer. Hit a WETH offer. It's gonna go. I'm hoping because this and Nick, this is what I wanted to kind of, my bad. They're gonna be airdropping. They're going to be giving you an airdrop per NFT you hold, as well as you're going to be able to claim a free physical item. Like it might be like a little physical
like a toy.
A toy. Now, what that excites, not really, but I think it should pump the price. And they're going to tell in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to be knowing who's that company they partnered with that is huge.
Oh, they're getting listed on Amazon, bro.
Well, if that's the case, we're going up, and that's why I'm holding all of mine still.
Hey, be careful of saying that. Like matter of fact, you know, like that might not happen, right? Like they're trying, okay. Right?
But you know, there's 13 projects that are going to get released on Amazon.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That would be bomb.
Yeah,
that would be fire. And if that happens, I should have did like you did. I could have had like 30 ETH.
selling at 2.5. Instead, you know, I'm sitting at 10, you know, or whatever, like 12 ETH sitting here. So like, it's about how you move, shake and move, and you shake and move with the best of them. So, yeah, man, just good luck. Appreciate y'all having me on. It was a blast. Time flew by. Always a pleasure, man. Definitely. And good luck. Appreciate all the listeners. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to this channel. Follow Clean and Nick, man. They awesome ambassadors of our community for sure.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much. Remember to get outside, see your family, see your friends. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Until next time, guys.
Let's
Peace.
go. Peace. Good shit, fellas.